There is a hidden map, a sacred blueprint, that exists not in stone or parchment but within the very fabric of reality itself. It has been whispered of in the halls of mystery schools, encoded in the teachings of ancient sages, and concealed within the world's most enduring myths. This map is known as the Tree of Life, a symbol that has guided mystics, alchemists, and seekers of truth for thousands of years. But what if I told you that the Tree of Life is not just an abstract diagram, that it is far more than a symbol found in ancient texts? What if it is a living structure, a divine architecture embedded within your very being, shaping your consciousness and your journey through existence? For many, the Tree of Life is simply an esoteric curiosity, something associated with Kabbalah, mystical Judaism, or obscure occult teachings. But those who truly understand its significance know that it is much more than that. It is a roadmap to enlightenment, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, and a key to unlocking the deepest truths of the universe. In this video, we will embark on a journey to decode its hidden meaning. We will explore its ancient origins, uncover the profound wisdom it holds, and most importantly, reveal how you can apply its teachings to transform your own life. By the end of this video, you will no longer see the Tree of Life as just a mystical diagram. You will recognize it as a reflection of your own spiritual evolution, a cosmic ladder leading to the highest states of consciousness. But first, to truly understand the power of this sacred symbol, we must step back in time to the ancient civilizations that first glimpsed its divine pattern and sought to preserve its wisdom for those who were ready to receive it. To understand the true significance of the Tree of Life, we must trace its origins back to the dawn of human civilization. This sacred symbol did not emerge from a single culture or belief system. Instead, it appears across multiple traditions, each interpreting it in a way that aligns with their understanding of the cosmos, the divine, and the human soul. One of the most well-known depictions of the Tree of Life comes from Kabbalah, the mystical branch of Judaism. Here it is represented as the Etz Chaim, a divine structure composed of 10 interconnected spheres, known as the Sephirot. These Sephirot are said to represent different aspects of God's emanation into the material world, serving as a bridge between the infinite and the finite. The tree is the spiritual architecture of creation itself, revealing the hidden mechanisms through which divine energy flows into existence. But Kabbalah is not the only tradition to speak of such a tree. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians and Babylonians spoke of a sacred tree guarded by divine beings, a motif that would later be echoed in the biblical story of the Tree of Knowledge and the Tree of Life in the Garden of Eden. In some interpretations, these two trees are not separate but represent two sides of the same mystical reality, one symbolizing wisdom and the other eternal life. In ancient Egypt, a similar concept appears in the myth of Osiris and the Djed pillar, often seen as a symbolic representation of the Tree of Life. The Djed, a pillar-like symbol, was associated with stability, resurrection, and the eternal flow of energy through the cosmos. Egyptian priests spoke of a hidden order, a structure through which divine consciousness moves and sustains all existence. Meanwhile, in Hindu philosophy, the Tree of Life appears as the Ashvatha, the sacred fig tree, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita as an upside-down tree with its roots in the heavens and its branches spreading downward into the material world. This mirrors the Kabbalistic concept that the Tree of Life is a reflection of divine reality, cascading from higher planes into the realm of form and matter. Even in Norse mythology, we find a strikingly similar structure. Yggdrasil, the world tree, a vast cosmic tree that connects different realms of existence, linking the heavens, the underworld, and the human world. The gods themselves, including Odin, gained wisdom by interacting with this sacred tree, just as seekers of truth throughout history have sought enlightenment through the study of the Tree of Life. What does this tell us? It tells us that the Tree of Life is not just an idea confined to one culture or belief system. It is a universal truth, a sacred pattern woven into the very structure of existence. Across continents and centuries, humanity has intuitively recognized the presence of this divine architecture and sought to understand its mysteries. But what exactly is the Tree of Life? Is it a literal tree, a symbolic representation, or something far deeper, perhaps a living structure within consciousness itself? Imagine for a moment that the entire universe, everything you see, feel, and experience, is built upon a hidden framework, an invisible ladder of consciousness that extends from the divine source down into the physical world. This is the true nature of the Tree of Life. At its essence, the Tree of Life is a map of reality, both the macrocosm of the universe and the microcosm of the human soul. It represents the structure of creation itself, showing how divine energy descends from the highest, most subtle spiritual realms into the dense material world. At the same time, it provides a path of return, a way for the seeker to ascend ascend back toward enlightenment, unity, and divine awareness. In Kabbalah, this structure is depicted through the 10 Sephirot, which are interconnected spheres of divine emanation. Each Sephira represents a different aspect of existence, a different stage of consciousness, and a different quality of the divine. They are not just abstract ideas, they are forces, principles that operate within you, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and spiritual evolution. Let's break down the three fundamental levels of the tree. 1. The divine realm, the source of all creation. At the top of the tree lies Keter, the crown. This is the infinite, unknowable source of all existence. It is pure divinity, beyond thought, beyond form. In many traditions, this is called the One, the Tao, or the Absolute, the unmanifest potential from which everything else emerges. From Keter, the divine energy flows downward, splitting into two fundamental forces: Chokmah, wisdom, the raw force of creation, the first flash of divine inspiration; Binah, understanding, the structuring force that gives shape and definition to creation. These three together, Keter, Chokmah, and Binah, form the supernal triangle, the highest realm of existence that remains beyond ordinary human perception. This is where pure consciousness exists, untouched by form or limitation. 2. The mental and emotional realm, the realm of the self. As divine energy descends, it enters the realm of human thought, emotions, and perception. Here, the energy begins to take form, shaping the mind and the inner world of the individual. Chesed, mercy, the expansive force of love, abundance, and generosity. Gevura, severity, the counterbalancing force of discipline, judgment, and restriction. Sephirot, beauty, the harmonizing center of the tree, representing balance, truth, and higher consciousness. Sephirot is often associated with the higher self, the inner divine spark that seeks unity and enlightenment. It is the heart of the tree, the place where spiritual transformation truly begins. 3. The physical and material realm, the world of action. At the base of the tree, divine energy solidifies into the world of form, where thoughts and potential manifest into physical reality. Netzach, victory, the force of passion, creativity, and persistence. Hod, glory, the force of intellect, logic, and communication. Yesod, foundation, the subconscious, the realm of dreams, intuition, and the astral plane. And finally, at the very bottom, we find Malkuth, kingdom, the material world, the physical plane. This is where we live, experience, and evolve. It is the final crystallization of divine energy, the place where the infinite takes form in time and space, the tree as a pathway to awakening. Understanding this structure is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a roadmap for spiritual growth. The tree teaches us that all things originate from a single divine source, Keter. Our thoughts and emotions shape our reality, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet. The physical world is not separate from the spiritual. It is simply the final expression of the divine energy that flows through all things, Malkuth. This means that spiritual evolution is the process of climbing back up the tree, ascending from the lower, denser realms of material existence through self-awareness and wisdom toward the highest states of enlightenment and divine union. But the tree of life is not just a map of the cosmos, it is also a map of your own consciousness. The 10 Sephirot are not just cosmic forces, they are aspects of your inner being, waiting to be understood and balanced. Now that we have explored the fundamental structure of the tree of life, we must go deeper, beyond theory, beyond symbolism, into the living reality of the tree within you. Each of the Sephirot is not just a cosmic principle, but a force at work within your consciousness. They shape the way you think, feel, act, and experience reality. The journey up the tree is the process of spiritual refinement, a path of awakening, purification, and mastery. Let's now explore how each sphere relates to your own spiritual evolution and the obstacles that may block your path. 1. The lower realms, breaking free from illusion. The base of the tree is Malkuth, kingdom, the material world. This is where most people are trapped, caught in the illusions of the physical senses, disconnected from their divine nature. Many live their entire lives at this level, believing only in what they can see and touch, unaware of the vast spiritual structure above them. But Malkuth is not a prison, it is a test. It is the starting point of the journey, where the soul awakens to the realization that there is something beyond the material world. Above Malkuth is Yesod, foundation, the realm of the subconscious, the gateway between the physical and the unseen. This is the world of dreams, intuition, and inner visions. Many seekers become stuck here, lost in illusion, unable to distinguish true spiritual insight from fantasy. The challenge of Yesod is clarity, learning to separate truth from deception, illusion from reality. 2. The middle realm, the transformation of the self. Rising above Yesod, we enter the realm of emotions, intellect, and self-mastery. Here, the soul undergoes profound transformation. Netzach, victory, is the energy of passion, creativity, and desire, but if uncontrolled, it can lead to emotional turbulence, attachment, and indulgence. To rise beyond Netzach, one must cultivate inner discipline, learning to channel passion into higher pursuits. Hod, glory, represents intellect, analysis, and logic, but if misused, it can lead to overthinking, doubt, and detachment from deeper wisdom. The challenge here is balancing knowledge with direct experience, learning that wisdom is not found in books alone, but in the lived reality of the spirit. Between these two forces lies Sephirot, beauty, the heart of the tree, the higher self. This is the sphere of truth, harmony, and enlightenment. It is the meeting point between the divine and the human, where the ego dissolves and the seeker begins to glimpse their true nature. To reach Sephirot is to experience spiritual awakening, the realization that you are more than just a physical body, more than just a personality. 3. The upper realms, the path to divine union. Beyond Sephirot, the seeker enters the highest levels of consciousness, realms where few ever tread. She said, mercy is the force of divine love and expansion, but without balance it can lead to blind idealism, lack of discipline, and overindulgence in mystical experience. The key here is wisdom, to learn how to embody divine love without losing oneself in illusion. Gevura, severity, is the opposite force, discipline, judgment, and strength. But if taken too far, it becomes rigidity, cruelty, and spiritual arrogance. True mastery requires harmony between Chesed and Gevura, compassion with strength, wisdom with love, and then we reach the supernal realm, the highest level of the tree. Binah, understanding, is the realm of deep spiritual insight, the place where the mind expands beyond individuality and begins to comprehend the vast intelligence of the universe. Chokmah, wisdom, is pure divine energy, the spark of creation itself. Here, duality dissolves and the seeker enters the realm of unity consciousness. And finally, at the very peak, Keter, crown, the ultimate source, the infinite light, the divine beyond all names. This is enlightenment, unity with the all, the final return to the source. The hidden key, the path of ascent. The tree of life is not just a static diagram, it is a living process. It represents the path of ascent, the journey of spiritual transformation. But how does one climb the tree? Self-awareness, recognizing where you are on the tree and identifying what blocks your growth. Purification, releasing attachments, false beliefs, and lower emotions that keep you bound to the lower spheres. Balance, learning to integrate opposites. Mercy and severity, intellect and intuition, action and surrender. Direct experience. Spiritual growth is not about belief. It is about living the reality of the tree, aligning your life with its divine flow. The ultimate goal, to ascend beyond the realm of illusion, awaken the higher self, and unify with the divine source. This is the secret meaning of the tree of life, the blueprint of the soul's return to God. Now that we understand the profound structure of the tree of life, the next question is, how can we use this wisdom in daily life? The tree is not just a map of creation, it is a tool for spiritual transformation. To ascend the tree, one must purify the self, balance the energies, and integrate divine consciousness into everyday existence. Step 1. Identify where you are on the tree. Each person operates at different levels of the tree at different times. By reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you can determine which sphere, Sephirot, is most active or imbalanced in your life. Are you caught in material distractions? You may be stuck in Malkuth, physical reality. Do you struggle with emotional turbulence? You may be trapped in Netzach, passion, or Gevura, discipline without balance. Do you feel disconnected from your higher self? You may need to strengthen your connection to Sephirot, the heart of the tree. Self-awareness is the first key. Once you recognize your spiritual state, you can begin to move upward. Step 2. Activate the energy of each sphere. Each Sephirot can be awakened through specific spiritual practices. 1. Malkuth, grounding in reality. Practice mindfulness, become fully present in each moment. Walk barefoot in nature, connect to the earth's energy. Declutter your space, remove unnecessary distractions. 2. Yesod, strengthening intuition. Keep a dream journal, analyze symbolic messages, meditate on the moon, enhance subconscious awareness. Use visualization exercises, train your inner perception. 3rd, Hod and Netzach, balancing mind and emotion. Hod, intellect, read sacred texts, study esoteric teachings, develop rational clarity. Netzach, emotion, engage in creative expression, music, art, poetry, develop emotional intelligence. Balance practice, meditate on a golden sun between the left, Hod, and right, Netzach, of your body. Visualize their energies harmonizing. 4. Sephirot, awaken awakening the higher self. Practice heart-centered meditation, focus on love and compassion. Contemplate your true purpose. Ask, who am I beyond my ego? Align your actions with truth and integrity. Live from your highest self. 5. Chest and Gevura, mastering expansion and restriction. Chest, mercy. Perform acts of kindness, forgive others, practice gratitude. Gevura, discipline, set boundaries, develop self-control, commit to spiritual discipline, fasting, meditation, sacred rituals. Balance practice, visualize a pillar of light uniting these forces within you, mercy on one side, discipline on the other, and your soul standing in the center. 6. Baina and Chokma, accessing higher wisdom. Baina, understanding, deep contemplation, silent meditation, practicing patience. Chokma, wisdom, engage in spontaneous insight, write freely, engage in deep conversations, trust intuitive flashes. Integration practice, meditate on a silver and blue light, Baina, and a golden fire, Chokma, merging into a brilliant white light of wisdom. 7. Keter, the crown of divine union. Practice surrender, let go of all attachment and open yourself to the infinite. Meditate on pure light, envision yourself dissolving into the divine presence. Chant sacred mantras, vibrate the names of the divine to attune your consciousness to higher realms. Step 3. The middle pillar exercise, Tree of Life energy activation. One of the most powerful techniques to activate the tree within you is the middle pillar exercise, a Kabbalistic meditation used to align your energy centers with divine flow. 1. Find a quiet place. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take deep breaths. 2. Visualize a brilliant sphere of white light above your head, Keter. Feel its divine radiance. 3. Bring the light down to your forehead, Sephirot. Imagine it filling your mind with clarity and truth. 4. Move the light to your heart, Sephirot again. Feel love, balance, and connection to your higher self. 5. Let the light flow down to your navel, Yesod, clearing subconscious blockages and strengthening intuition. 6. Finally, send the light to your feet, Malkuth, grounding divine energy into the physical world. 7. Expand the light outward, feeling it surround your entire body, filling you with spiritual power and divine connection. Step 4. Living in alignment with the tree. The goal is not just spiritual insight, but transformation to embody the wisdom of the tree in your daily life. Practice balance. Do not become too rigid, Gevura, or too indulgent, Chesed. Align your thoughts, words, and actions. Live in accordance with truth. Remember that the journey is ongoing. The tree is not a place to reach, but a living reality to walk each day. The tree of life is more than just a diagram or a mystical teaching. It is the map of the soul's journey back to its divine source. It represents the very structure of existence, from the physical world we see to the highest realms of pure consciousness. But the true secret of the tree is this: it is not something outside of you. It is not just an ancient teaching written in books or a symbol to be studied. The tree of life is within you. It is the blueprint of your own being. Every challenge you face, every spiritual insight you gain, every act of love, wisdom, and transformation moves you up the tree. When you struggle with illusion and material distractions, you are in Malkuth. When you are lost in emotions or confusion, you are in Netzach and Hod. When you find balance and begin to see clearly, you enter Tiferet. When you cultivate love and strength in harmony, you rise to Chesed and Gevura. And when you begin to glimpse the ultimate reality beyond the illusion of self, you approach the heights of Binah, Chokmah, and Keter. The tree is your path. The tree is your story. The final secret: the tree is a circle. Many believe the journey ends at Keter, the crown, the final step of spiritual ascension, but the greatest secret of all is this: Keter and Malkuth are one. The highest and the lowest are connected. The divine source is not separate from the material world. It is within it. Enlightenment is not escaping this reality, but seeing through the illusion to recognize that divinity is already here, already now. This is why the ancient mystics said, that which is above is like that which is below. You do not need to wait for some future moment of enlightenment. You do not need to escape the world to find truth. The divine is already here, hidden in plain sight. The path of the tree is not about going somewhere else. It is about waking up to what has always been. So now the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you take the first step on the journey? Will you practice the techniques to activate the tree within yourself? Will you live each day with the awareness that you are on a sacred path? The tree of life is an invitation to awaken, to grow, and to return to your divine nature. If this video resonated with you, let us know in the comments which part of the tree do you feel most connected to. And if you're ready to go deeper into esoteric wisdom, be sure to like, subscribe, and explore our other videos on the ancient mysteries of the soul. Thank you for watching, and remember, the tree is always waiting for those who are ready to climb.